One thing you'll never hear out of this morning's guest is 3 strikes, you're out. Who is she? You'll meet her coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Garden City Furniture on Highway 17 Business in Garden City. We're focused on the Grand Strand Miracle League, and we're visiting with its executive director, Tory Mackey. Good morning, Tory.
Good morning, Greg.
Thank you
How are
so
you?
much for coming in early
My
on
pleasure.
Wednesday morning. I love
No
that.
problem.
The chartreuse green
you.
jacket. Very handsome.
Matches Garden City Furniture.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yes,
That's right. Who picked that out?
Well, you know, I've been here a few times. So I thought it might just go with it. I know, it's
Facility
beautiful.
goes on and on and on.
It does.
I can't even see the end of the store back there.
Yes, it's quite an amazing place.
You have been in here before.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Now, you've been down here at the beach or in the area about how long now?
Well, March 1st was actually the 3rd year anniversary of my family and I moving to Pawleys Island, South Carolina.
Right.
We came down here for a job opportunity for my husband. I never thought it would lead me to what has turned out to be a wonderful job opportunity for me with the Miracle League.
Yeah.
But we have absolutely loved our life at the beach. It's been everything that we all talk about, wonderful lifestyle, great weather, and also great opportunities for my children. It's a wonderful place to raise a family.
Good.
I think.
You've seen that, yes.
I have.
And now that's not just Pawleys Island. You mean the entire Grand Strand.
No.
Yeah.
I think all up and down the Grand Strand, and especially since I've had a little more, I guess, exposure to people through my job with the Miracle League. I just have seen this community, I think, at its best, with some of the most generous, genuine, caring people that I have ever come across. So I love it here.
Oh, yeah, and you see when someone visits the Grand Strand Miracle League website, the extent of how far Miracle League extends. I think I saw you've got folks coming down from Tabor City,
yes,
as well as far up from Kingstree and other parts of Williamsburg County. Yeah,
it's amazing that because the Miracle League is really a very unique organization and a unique opportunity for children with disabilities. The parents that are really behind all of this, the parents are the heroes in this situation, but it means so much to them to have their child be able to participate in a baseball league. That they come from everywhere, and they do things, just they go to lengths that I think most of us who don't have a disabled child can't even fathom. Just to give their child the opportunities that I think a lot of us take for granted for ours.
So the extent of the disabilities can be very dire.
Yes, we have, it is mental and physical disabilities that are represented. I actually learned a new word this week when I was visiting a special education class at St. James High School.
What's that?
It's exceptionalities.
Oh, wow.
That is, and I think I really like that word. We represent a variety of exceptionalities with our children. We have children who are wheelchair bound, and that really, I think, was the impetus for starting the Miracle League, was to give children who did have physical restrictions, such as a wheelchair, the opportunity to play baseball. Our field, well, you've been there, it is a kind of an all-weather track kind of surface, so that it's very easy to push a wheelchair around the bases. And that was really like I said, that's kind of what gave us the whole concept of the Miracle League, to be able to provide that actual facility. However, I think what it has grown to encompass is not just a physical place, but sort of an environment in general. This is a nurturing, caring, accepting group, and so we extend to, let's say a disability like a Down syndrome, for example, where a child might not be able to play in an organized baseball league just through the rec, just because of behavioral issues, just not being able to keep up in certain ways. They come to the Miracle League and they fit right in. In fact, they're, we've got some kids that play with us that they thrive in the environment. They're actually really good, in terms of they'll hit it out of the park. So it's very exciting to see. And so we represent, our children represent a lot of different kinds of exceptionalities. I'm using my favorite word again, but it just makes it just all kind of works together. They all tend to mesh together. The other thing that really helps is we have a wide range of volunteers that come out and help us.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
That's right.
we do. We've got
Absolutely.
great volunteers. And one of our policies, if you will, is that every child that plays is paired up with a buddy.
Every single one?
Every single
Wow.
one. And this may take the form of a person, pushing a child in a wheelchair around the bases.
Right.
It may just be holding someone's hand and running around the bases with them.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to fielding, helping out, keeping the ball in play and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the nurturing environment and the real kind of the freedom to develop as an athlete for these children really is fostered along by those buddies. So that helps us a lot too.
That is critical.
Yeah, it is
Everyone's
critical.
volunteered.
Yes.
Right.
Since I have been involved with the Miracle League, I have found, and it certainly doesn't have to be this way, but I have found that it works out beautifully when I have a group come. For example, a youth group from a church, a fraternity from Coastal Carolina University. I've been very, very fortunate to have the baseball team from Coastal Carolina University come out. They've come to almost every one of my games when they're not.
On.
No, yes,
when they're not playing.
When they're not playing in our fall season, because we do play in the spring and in the fall. In their fall season, Coach Gary Gilmore made it a policy that if a player was going to play on his team, he had to volunteer at least once at the Miracle League.
Wow.
And most of them came to every game.
Oh, boy.
And we have, the Miracle League has really grown. I mean, we have 6 teams now. We have 80 kids on the rosters. So we play literally 3 games of baseball every Saturday morning. So it's a 3-hour commitment. And most of the time, these players, and others too. I don't mean to overshadow that at all, but it meant so much to me and to our kids to have that team out there helping us. And I might add that it does help when people who actually know how to play baseball and can run the field at a level that I certainly couldn't do.
Sure,
so.
sure. That is great.
It is. It's very great.
But of course, you don't want to highlight that only baseball players can go out and be buddies. I mean, you've got folks of all.
We do. We have retired folks. We have, I think because our children range in age, we have players who are as young as 3, and we have players who are 33.
Is that right?
And everybody in between. And so I'm thinking about, we do have a lot of retired people that come out and help us as buddies. We have teenagers that come and help us. My 7-year-old son steps up and helps, serves as a buddy.
Right.
And he loves it. He actually really loves it if they need to even out the teams and he can play. So as sort of a pinch hitter or whatever.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we really have all kinds of people, all kinds of ages represented with our buddies and our kids.
That's great. Tory, if a viewer needs to get off to work now or obviously out to school or otherwise, is there a good phone number and maybe even a website that you all have for someone to learn more about the Grand Strand Miracle League?
Definitely. They can contact me directly at 843-448-7712.
Okay.
That is the Miracle League line. Call me and let me know if you're interested in volunteering.
Right.
Anyone could just show up on a Saturday if they wanted to.
Great.
But I like to know
a little ahead of time
just so that it's a better experience for the volunteer.
Sure.
I can be thinking ahead of somebody that I might like to pair them up with. And like I said, we do have 3 separate games every Saturday, so maybe somebody can only stay for an hour.
Right,
and if
both
so,
in the fall and the spring.
Both in the fall and in the
games
spring.
Normally fall an hour.
They do. That kind of leads me to sort of the format of our games. The reason they do last an hour is we have our rules are that everybody gets up to bat, everybody gets on base, everybody crosses home plate.
Wow.
And so with our teams averaging about 12 kids a team, and sometimes it takes a few pitches to get somebody on base, and so we patiently go through that lineup, and we try to get both teams through the lineup at least twice.
Great.
So that takes just about an hour, and it's and that's also really it's a lot of activity, and that's about as much as all the buddies and the players can handle.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm sure. That's a long day, and of course, so y'all are playing. Is this a rain or shine opportunity? Is it? You've got rain days.
We do have rain days.
Severe rain.
We do. We had last spring. Actually, we were we got hit with a couple really bad thunderstorms that rolled in. You know, for
Right.
sometimes we play in the afternoon.
Right.
And so we will, if there's any kind of threat of dangerous
Sure.
weather, we obviously cancel and try to make it up at some other time. But you know, in the fall, you know, there were some very chilly days, but everybody came out and put the hats on and put the gloves on and just
That's tremendous.
bundled up and came out and played.
You gave the phone number 843-448-7712.
That's right.
Do you all have a website, Tory?
Yes, we do. www.gsml.org.
.org. That's great. gsml.org. That's wonderful. Well, it's a great-looking website, and it's one, I think that site's been up for a few years. I've
Yes,
seen
it
that
has.
change a little bit over the last few years, and obviously the schedules and the board of directors. You've got a great lineup there. You also
We
have
do.
some donate information so folks can get in touch with you all.
Yes.
Which is great. Some other just great shots. Those old baseball cards, whether they were ever printed or not, they look great on the website. I've seen them on billboards
Yes,
and otherwise.
thank you. Yeah, we try to do baseball cards for the kids so
Right.
they can all have their own baseball card, and you know, team photos and all the kind of things that the regular baseball leagues do.
Yes. When will the spring? It's the spring season will be kicking off soon.
Yes, 1 month from today.
Oh, great.
Yes, April 14th.
Oh, wow, that's
at,
fantastic.
Yep, 10 o'clock at the James C. Benton Miracle League Field behind Pepper Gettings
Yes.
in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
It is going to be 10 o'clock. We are really excited about opening day, not only for the great baseball that will undoubtedly occur that day, but we are also dedicating our new buildings on that day. So we're going to have a dedication ceremony, and then the kids can play ball. But we have some just wonderful people to recognize.
Yeah.
We have built in the past year. It kind of all came together. A concession stand and
Great.
bathroom, and it really. Our contractor, John Thompson from Plum Development, he really, I think he summed it up best in that this building is almost like a monument to these kids. It is a very special building. It looks a little like something out of Nickelodeon, a little retro, kind of like a diner sort of look. And it's very special. I mean, it was Derek Mazingo, is a wonderful architect who designed this for us, and it's special. I mean, it's really nice. And so it's done
and it
now.
has both the concessions and the
And bathrooms. We which is in handicapped accessible bathrooms as well, which has been really, I think that's going to add more value than anything else, honestly. I mean, it's a long day for these parents, and there really weren't any other facilities close by, so it could be, that was kind of inconvenient. But now we're all set.
That is tremendous.
It's gonna be great.
For our viewers in the PD or southeastern North Carolina who may be coming in for the first time, or even locals, folks coming in from Tabor City or up from Kingstree, how would they find that your location for Saturday a month from now?
It's very easy to find. It is, if you take the bypass to 38th Avenue, take a right down to Oak Street, and then shortly thereafter, about 33rd Avenue, you'll see the entrance to Pepper Gettings.
Okay.
And then you turn right into there, and we're right at the back. There's one of the great things about our location for our kids is that our field is right in there with a bunch of other baseball fields.
Great.
So on a typical baseball Saturday for the Miracle League, there are, you know, tons of other kids coming out to play baseball that day too.
Sure.
And it is, it makes our kids feel more like they're just a part of having an everyday experience. But the other thing that is really great to see, and I can't tell you how many times this has happened, and it just, every time it just gets me. You know, we'll be in the middle of our game, and I'll notice, like, one by one, all around the perimeter of our fencing, you know, the other teams will start lining up and cheering for our kids.
That's great.
Especially when we have a girls' softball tournament out there. One of the weekends, those girls will come out and just, you know, scream and hoot and holler for our kids, and and they really love it. And so many people that come in, you know, to play a baseball tournament there from other cities, they'll approach me, you know, afterward, and just, you know, with tears in their eyes, and just say, how could we do this in our city? And that's another thing I just have to plug for Myrtle Beach. I mean, we are really the first Miracle League that formed. There was a Miracle League in Conyers, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta.
Right.
And that Miracle League was featured in an HBO special hosted by Bryant Gumbel.
Right.
And that is kind of what started the whole Miracle League here. A local businessman, Paul Booth, saw the special, said we have to have this in Myrtle Beach, and 5 years later, here we are.
This advanced, yes.
It really
yes.
is, and so we're really the first sort of spin-off from that original field.
This is the first after Conyers, Georgia?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
And now there are about 160 cities that are, I wouldn't say at the same phase that we are,
right,
but are in the planning stages, and some are fully up and running. So
right.
It really has taken off nationwide, and I just feel proud that we were really leading the pack on that.
Yeah, very definitely. It was just 5 years ago.
I know, 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yep.
I remember when Stephanie, your predecessor, and Raymond Child came into our studio. It was in 2002. The end of 2002, October and November, talking about it, and had signs and a lot of what was planned at that time, albeit I guess the field was already operational, so much other aspects. It was not the James C. Benton field then, as it became a couple of years ago, and it was great having the two of them in. I remember watching that video not long ago, seeing that the two of them when they were with us there at the studio.
Well, those two, especially what wonderful hearts they had, for the special needs children in our community, and they really led the charge in terms of getting people behind us, and so, and we continue. I mean, it always amazes me, how many people just step up and whether it's the Benton family who, if we need something done, they do it. And, no questions asked. It's, they just kind of take care of it for us in terms of just their support and their, with their expertise in building and construction, be able to take care of those things for us. And, just, again, I kind of keep coming back to this, just the outpouring of support from the community in Myrtle Beach in terms of donations, in terms of supporting our fundraisers, supporting, naming us as the beneficiary of a golf tournament here and there or whatnot. So we've been very fortunate.
How could a parent get involved now, Tory, or how could they get their child signed up if they've got
there's still time.
Special needs child?
I guess the best thing would be to contact me directly at this point. I would send out a registration form and a schedule of games, and I really just need to know what size T-shirt to order for their child at this point.
Cost them anything? Or
we have a suggested registration fee of $35 per child. However, I say this every time. I would never want a financial reason to be the reason a child doesn't come out and play. We do solicit sponsors for even just sponsoring a child, and we have a lot of folks that kind of step up and take care of that. So our costs are covered if a family is not able to do that. But if they can, hey, it's money well spent. It's a fun program, year-long program for their child to be a part of, and it goes beyond baseball too. I mean, we have social events for the kids throughout the year. We've got a killer Christmas party. We're up to about 300 people now.
Yes.
So it's fun, and we take the kids to the Pelicans game. Take the kids to Coast Carolina baseball games. We, just do, all the big things. We try to remember birthdays and whatnot. So we have fun.
And so you're talking a total, if you said 12 per team, and you've got how many teams?
Right now we have 6 teams. So some of them are a little
around
bigger
70,
than that, 72, something like that.
That's tremendous. Yeah, you mean some of the teams are a little bigger than 12.
Oh, yeah, some of them are a little bigger than 12.
And, of course, with every child being able to, the goal of having 2 full, 2 trips around the bases, is that right?
Yes.
For each child, for each game.
Yep.
That's a big deal.
It is. It is a big deal.
Yeah. So, are they playing every Saturday then, or they're playing every other Saturday?
We play every Saturday.
Oh, I guess that's right.
We do. Starting April 14th, like we said, and then going straight through until I think June 10th is our last game.
In the spring season, yes, and then the fall season will start up in normally September, October.
I think we're talking about the second week in September. And we started a new thing last fall. We started with the having a pig picking to start off our season, and that was just a tremendous success. I mean, I think we fed 600 people barbecue that day.
No.
It was a big day for the Miracle League, and we just had a blast. There was a couple different churches got together and did a carnival for the kids. We had set up a jumpy castle and games and all kinds of stuff right next to the field. And on big days like that, like an opening day or the pig picking day, we will what we'll do is play a just for fun game, which means that everybody who shows up, we just divide up the kids, send them to the dugouts, and everybody plays.
Right.
On regular days, we're a little bit more structured, and we do have two teams, the A's and the Indians, that we call our advanced teams, and these are just some kids that have a little bit more ability and also have the desire to compete a little bit.
Right.
They like to keep score. They like to, try to keep the rivalry going. Some, most of the kids just want to come and have fun and play. Right. But these kids are a little more serious.
Are there any needs for donations now, Tori? Do you all operate on donations?
Well, we do. We are strictly fully funded by the donations of our community. We offer, we do sponsorships for teams, and some of those are available. We have dugout sponsors, home plate sponsors. I do something which I call a game day sponsor. If a business, for example, would be interested in sort of adopting a game day, the sky's the limit on that. We have for example, we have a wonderful partner in the Sheraton Broadway Plantation.
Sure.
They do a donation drive among their employees, and then they come out on usually it's our last game. They'll bring out 100 volunteers that day.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yes. And they'll bring, they bring someone to sing the national anthem from somebody who works there. They do raffles and all kinds of stuff. And last year they raised $12,000 for us.
No way.
Yes, they did.
Wow.
And so there's that, which I would say is a extreme of amazing generosity. But we also, have some things that we're starting to work on. The Miracle League is participating this year in the March of Dimes. We wanted to, as a group, come out and march in the March of Dimes walk. We're in our uniforms on April 28th. And so we're going to have a home run derby to raise money for it. And so we're getting local businesses. We have Keystone Commercial Realties just signed on to sponsor us. And what we're doing is having businesses commit to donating, like, let's say $5 a kid for every child who crosses home plate.
Right.
And then so we want to feel like our kids are raising the money, doing what they do best for the March of Dimes. If that format flies, I think we might try to do it for ourselves in the fall, because I think that'd be really fun, and you can get a bunch of businesses involved, and we do. I would be very remiss if I did not mention our amazing announcer that we have, this wonderful high school student, Sly McCoy, who does a play-by-play for us at every game. He knows every child by name. He has nicknames for most of them. He has theme music for most of them when they come up to bat. And Sly would get something like the Home Run Derby really going. I mean, he'll be hyping it big, and he does such a great job. In fact, he was recently recognized by Mayor Rhodes for his contributions.
And he's a high school student local.
He is. He's so great. He's a high school senior, and he has done this, hasn't missed a game in 4 years, and has done this. I've never had to call him. I've never had to ask him. He just comes. And he makes it. I mean, he makes it so fun. The kids love him. And he just, he's kind of like a announcer / DJ. He keeps great music going the whole time, and that kind of energy. You just need it. And he does a great job.
We've just got a minute, Tori. If folks are thinking about being out a month from now, what are they going to see on opening day?
Opening day is going to be great. Like I said, we're going to have our buildings dedicated, and there'll be some recognition of the people who not only gave money but actually came out and worked. There are several businesses that donated amazing amounts of just their labor. Concrete, all kinds of stuff. And then we'll have a Just for Fun ball game, and that will be where all the kids come. The kids will they'll get their uniforms, and they'll be placed on their teams. That day. That's right. And then we will have some baseball, and then we'll probably have a couple hot dogs and cookout kind of thing too. Y'all will have some newcomers that day as well. Yes, we will. Folks will be out there the first time. Definitely hope so. Yes. So they'll have to. We'll show them the ropes. Right. And it's always fun. It's just it's a feel-good experience for anyone who would like to have one. It's a wonderful day. That's great. You made it real easy, the directions getting there. Just if they were coming up, they'd take a right on 38, the right on Oak, and then a right around 33rd in Pepper Gettings. That's right. 3 rights. That's wonderful. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. It's been my pleasure. Tori. Thank you very much, Greg. Absolutely. Keep it up. Thanks. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Tory Mackey coming up next. You heard Tori say it. The rules are really simple. Everyone hits.
everyone hits, everyone gets on base, and everyone crosses home plate. Another real simple thing is the phone number. Take this down, 843-448-7712. That's 448-7712. Another simple date to remember is, what's today? March 14th. What's a month from today? April 14th. Write that date down. The time is, I believe, 10 a.m. You can call the number, confirm that. Also the website, another simple one, gsml.org. Another key one, when you visit gsml.org, you'll see that everyone plays, everyone wins, and everyone cares. Get out there. Take the time a month from today, Saturday, April 14th. Make a difference. Support the Grand Strand Miracle League.